Your ACT or SAT scores can be the determining factor whether or not you get accepted to the college of your dreams. Despite the 12 years we spend in school, when we sit down to take the exam, we don't get the score that we want. One of the sections I think people will leave points behind it is the math section. We've all been there, we know how to do it, but when we read the word problem, it's like speaking a different language. This is Kenny from Todd Tutoring. I've been tutoring for 5 years and got 99 percentile on my ACT. Today we'll be going over how to approach every single ACT math problem so you can improve your ACT math score and get where you need to be. There are 4 steps to approach every math problem. 1. What is the problem asking? 2. What does the problem give you in order to solve for that? 3. Do the math. And 4. Does the answer make sense? For a lot of people, the problem isn't doing the math, rather it's understanding what to do. By breaking up the problem, we can see that the question isn't asking us to do something super complicated, it's just worded funny. And by checking it at the end, it will give us points back that we shouldn't lose. So let's see this on an actual problem taken from the ACT exam released this year. Question 43, what is the area in square units of a circle that has a circumference of 12 pi units long? A, 6 pi, B, 12 pi, C, 24 pi, D, 36 pi, or E, 144 pi. Seems a bit tricky, but let's break it down. First, let's figure out what the problem is asking. In many cases, this can be found in the last sentence of this question. But in this case, this question is only one sentence long, so we can really break it down to 1. What is the area of the circle? This should prompt us to think, what do we know about area? We should know that the area of the circle is equal to pi times radius squared. Well, in this case, we don't know the radius, so how does the problem help with that? That's where we move on to step 2. Step 2, what does the problem give us to help us solve for what we need to know? Well, we know the circumference is 12 pi units long, and that we need a radius to solve for area. We also know that the circumference of a circle is equal to 2 times pi times radius, so we can solve for radius. This leads us to step 3, do the math. In this case, we can set up the equation 12 pi is equal to 2 times pi times radius, or we set it as r. Solving for radius, we can divide by 2 pi on both sides. Notice that the pi's cancel out, so we get that the radius is equal to 6 units. But we're not just done there. Notice that they're a little bit tricky and A has 6 pi. Remember from step 1 that we need to solve for the area. Plugging that in, we have area is equal to pi times radius squared, getting 36 pi units squared. So we circle D and it looks like we're almost done, but there's one last step that has saved me so many points and helped me a ton and can help you as well. And that's just giving me a quick glance over the question. Yes, is your answer an option? And does it make relative sense? In this case, 36 pi is an option, and the area circumference are relatively near each other, that it makes sense. Boom, done. You've done all 4 steps, and you've got this problem right, and you're ready to move on to the next one. While it's just one example, the process is the same for every problem. Remember, it's first, thinking about what is the problem asking in the most simplest terms. 2, what does the problem give you in order to solve for that? 3, do the math. And 4, does the answer make sense? If you try this approach for every problem, I am almost certain that you'll see an increase in your score and the reduction in mistakes in the math section. In contrast to all the other sections in the ACT and SAT, when you do the math and solve the problem, it's not ambiguous. Your answer should match up with the multiple choice, which is why I think it's a great way to increase your score. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if there's anything else you'd like me to cover, please leave a comment down below. With that, this is Kenny from Todd Tutoring. Happy studying, keep on grinding, and take care.